Yeah, we're here in Glentress today, just trying out the 2011 Orange 5. It's more of a kind of first ride on the new bike. Really, it's not a full-blown test, but it's just to get a feel for what guys at Orange have done with the new bike.
We've got a couple of days just to mess about on the 2011 5 with Alan Muldoon from MBR and a few of the riders to get a feel for how it rides, show them a bit about the spec. We're going to head over to Glentress and do some man-made stuff, some swoopy berms and jumps, and then near Stirling just do some natural stuff, some rocks and some moorland stuff to get an idea of how it is on natural terrain.
Well, basically it's, we had I think one of the original tests we had with the 5, we did it as a frame only test, and we built like 4 bikes up with all the same components and stuff, so it was a pure back-to-back test with like 4 different frames, and it kind of impressed us with that test. And then we got the production bikes in for Trail Bike of the Year tests, and year in, year out they've just kind of come out on top really, and there's not been another bike that's probably got me off the 5 anyway.
The riders we've got are a pretty mixed bunch. We've got Danny, who's a trials weapon apparently. He hops and jumps and skips his way around, and he rides a 5 like pretty much no one else. Joe, who thunders downhill but is a bit of an XC whippet on this slide as well.
I think the biggest difference, the 2011 bike, is the whole combination of the tapered fork and the tapered head tube. It just gives you more confidence to really kind of hammer into rough terrain. It just makes the bike feel a little bit more solid. I think the geometry is actually the same as the current 2010 bike, so they haven't messed with the kind of vital statistics basically that make, that's pretty much I think what makes the 5 like one of the best bikes out there. It's got a really neutral riding position, the suspension works good, it's a complete package basically.
The 5 geometry wise is kind of what sets it apart. The suspension works fantastic, but geometry is really where the success lies, and that's not changed much for 2011. It's not changed at all in fact, so just adding to the features on the bike.
The other thing is that with the oversized seat tube on there now, there's probably an extra bit of frame stiffness coming in from that, but the key thing with that is that you've got better choice of ride height adjustable seat posts. They've got the option on the rear for the MacAskill, and I think if you're a heavier rider then the MacAskill's good on the back. Those are all the kind of add-on features that I think most trail riders are looking for. every time I get back on a 5, and I test a lot of bikes, and every time I get back on the 5, I'm always climbing up thinking, what's the fuss about? I actually think, have I hyped this bike? You know what I mean? Because it just kind of climbs, and it doesn't do, it doesn't climb amazing. It's not like the fastest bike, you've like instant acceleration on the climbs and stuff, but you just get up and you just pick your way up, and it's steady and stuff. But it's just when you get into a section of trail where the trail opens up and you get some momentum and you have some speed and the flow starts, that's when you just think, I can absolutely hammer this bike. And for me, that's the fun part of riding.
Race downhill, so I ride a downhill bike a lot over the year, but I also ride a lot of cross country, so I've got a hardtail and also an orange 5. But the 5 is probably the bike I put the most hours in over a year, just because you can use it for anything. Just leave it in the back of the van, and see anything good, just whip it out and go for a spin.
One of the things with the test that we've just done in the magazine, I think that the 2 bikes that came out on top aren't new bikes. They're bikes that have been around and they have been tweaked, and the other manufacturers made tweaks to their bikes and they made their bike better. And I think like basically evolving a product is a much better way to produce a really good product than actually just a lot of bike manufacturers build a new bike, they run it for 3 years until the tooling's paid for itself, and then they scrap it and build another one. I don't know if that actually gets you where you need to be, and I think the bikes can evolve as the riding evolves and the products that go on them evolve, like the tapered steer forks and the Maxwell back ends and the better shock technology, and the kind of whole thing can morph together into making a better bike.